Welcome back to my channel. My name is Sarah. If you are new here, today I have a video sharing with you 4 copycat recipes that my family tried out the last couple of weeks. Don't forget to subscribe before we get started. Thanks for watching.
I'm looking up from my window. Sun's coming up like the day before. You're like a stone on my pillow. I don't make a sound when I shut the door.
So I'm going to be sharing a total of 4 recipes in this video, and these were really good. I thought that they tasted pretty close to the actual recipes that we were trying to copy. So the first one here that I'm starting with is a Chick-Fil-A chicken nugget, and then we served it with waffle fries. So something I don't like about the Chick-fil-A dupe, I guess, that you can find, Sam's Club has one, I think Costco has one, I've never tried theirs though, is that it tastes a lot like pickles. And I know some recipes have pickle juice in the marinade for the chicken. This one does not, because I don't think that the Chick-fil-A nuggets taste like pickles, and so I don't like those other like knockoff types. So this, for the marinade part that you soak the chicken in, is just milk and eggs. So what I did was cut up some chicken breast into like 1/2-inch pieces and put them into this egg and milk mixture. And then I let this sit in the fridge. I think it was about a half hour, and just kind of let it marinate. Again, this doesn't have pickle juice in it, so if you like that, you could add some. I just don't think that that's what the Chick-fil-A nuggets taste like. So I was trying to find something that was different. And then I lost some of my footage here, but you're making the dry rub here, and it has breadcrumbs and flour and some seasonings in it. And I will link all of the recipes in this video. I will link down below in the description so that you can make them yourself as well if you want, and you can get the exact measurements and make sure you're not missing anything. So you just make up this dry mixture while your chicken is marinating, and then you will take your chicken from the egg milk mixture, coat it in this, and then fry it up.
I'll put your favorite music on all the way baritone. Shut the lights, go infrared. We can spend all day in bed.
Yesterday there was sun and there was rain, beauty in the mundane. And as the light startled our eyes, we let go of disguise. And now there's something in the air, and a sparkly shimmer on our skin, restoring everything within. Dream.
I used a cast iron skillet to fry this. If you had a deep fryer, I don't know if people still buy those, you could use that. You could also probably oven bake these, it just wouldn't give you the same flavor. So I just used olive oil in my cast iron, and I had to do this in batches because I didn't want to overcrowd the pan and then have the chicken like not crisp up on all sides. So it took a couple minutes on each side, and then I just flipped them when they were golden brown, cooked them on the other side until they were golden brown, and then I put them on a rack. You don't want to put them on a paper towel because they will get soggy as they dry. So I put them on just a rack that came with the pans, the cookie sheets that I have, so that the oil could kind of drip off of them a little bit. I could get the next batch going in the fryer.
Easy on our tiptoes, undercover agents of the other. now, and the edges have been folded once or twice. It doesn't look the same no more, 'cause the sun has made it pale.
And again, like I said, we served these with waffle fries. I had some of the Walmart version of the chicken dipping sauce, which tastes like Chick-Fil-A sauce. My husband did barbecue sauce, and I thought these were really, really good and very similar to the actual Chick-fil-A chicken nugget. So I highly recommend this one. The next recipe is going to be the Applebee's mac and cheese copycat that has the glazed chicken tenders. This is probably our favorite meal to get at Applebee's, but I don't think that they ever include enough sauce. So I wanted to try it myself. So I just bought these like pre-breaded chicken strips that I am putting in the oven, and then I'm gonna make my sauce. So in this pan, I had just fried some bacon, cut it up into crumble because you top the pasta with the bacon. And now I'm gonna make the sauce. I removed some of the grease and then just left a little bit so that it would have kind of that bacon flavor. And then we're gonna make the sauce. And so it has honey as the main foundation, I guess, and then it has soy sauce, and I'm using cocoa aminos, but you could use soy sauce if you wanted. I would recommend the low sodium, some brown sugar, water, and some lemon juice. And I got some lemon seeds in there, but I did end up taking them out later. And then it also has some vinegar and some spices, and I believe it was pepper and a little bit of cayenne, maybe some garlic and some paprika, and I used sweet paprika. I think it would be good with smoked paprika as well. And then you just want to mix that all together and let it sit on the stovetop until it starts to boil, and then let it bubble for a while. And then you need some shredded cheese for this, and I have this handy dandy little counter shredder that was giving me a hard time. Sometimes if I don't get it stuck to the counter enough, I have to like move it around a million times to get it stuck, and I was struggling this day and it kept moving around. But I love this thing because it grates your cheese just with a crank, and you don't have to use like a cheese grater, and because I'm always afraid I'm going to cut my fingers on a cheese grater. So I did just go ahead and use my own cheese here, and I will link that down below if you're interested in giving that a try. And then I have these noodles here. You can use whatever noodle you want. I can't pronounce the name of these ones, but they're good. And this is what Applebee's uses, this kind. And so I put them in the sink, and I didn't want to rinse them because I didn't want them to get super cold. So I put a little bit of olive oil on them so that they wouldn't stick together it wouldn't become like one big gross clump. Then I moved over back to the stove to make the sauce, which is really easy. So you just want to melt butter and you put in some heavy cream. I did make the full recipe for the sauce, but I didn't make a full box of pasta like it called for, and we did have a little too much of the sauce. So then once your butter and milk are melted all together, you add in your cheese. And so there's the shredded cheese that I shredded up. And I'm sorry that the lighting gets weird. The light under my stove sometimes gets picked up with my camera, and sometimes the lights from the kitchen get picked up. So I'm sorry about that. But then you also add in some Parmesan cheese and some mozzarella cheese. And then you mix them all together and just let it sit and let those cheeses melt and let all the flavors come together.
To believe
And you're going to add your pasta back in and mix it around. And by this point, your sauce should be warmed up and kind of thick because you've been letting it simmer on the stovetop. So then you put your cooked chicken strips into that sauce. I put them all in there and just let them sit for a few minutes. And then to plate it, you just want to put some of your Vera mac and cheese down, put some of the chicken on top, and I cut my chicken up, and then you sprinkle it with bacon. And we serve this with some cheese stuffed garlic sticks. This meal was really good. The next recipe I'm showing you is actually 2 recipes. Both of them are Copycat recipes, and it's a Panda orange chicken and Panda's fried rice recipe. I have never had their orange chicken, and I usually have my own version of fried rice that I make, but I will make my fried rice like this, and this chicken was so good. So first, I'm getting started with the sauce that's going to be for the orange chicken. So you just add in some ingredients, some cornstarch, some rice vinegar, some sesame oil, some soy sauce. Again, for this one I'm using Cocoa Aminos. A lot of sugar, a lot more sugar than I thought was going to be in this. Some vinegar, and then the zest of an orange. And you just mix those together and set them off to the side.
Why don't we go back to never wanted to end it like we did. I guess shit happens for a reason, but it's like something feels different from back then. Why don't we go back to, why don't we go back to, honestly I'm open wide. I don't feel like waking up without you by my side.
And then you also want to make like an egg dredging station for this. This is kind of similar. The way that the chicken on this is made is similar to the Chick-Fil-A chicken. And although you're seeing these recipes in the same video, this was filmed over a couple weeks, so we didn't even have these in the same week. When I do recipes like this, it's not every single night we're eating a Copycat recipe. They're usually more work. Just with any of the videos I share with you, they're usually more work. And so I spaced them out. So we didn't have fried chicken back to back. But this was it. As I was making this, it was reminding me of that Chick-fil-A chicken, except you don't put milk in the egg mixture. So that it's just egg, oil, and salt and pepper for the egg mixture. And then for the breading part, it's flour and cornstarch. And I just used a pie dish because my other clear container was dirty at the time, and I needed something that I could coat the chicken in well. So you just want to mix those up.
Why don't we go back to, why don't we go back to your bed?
And then I set up a dredging station at the stove so it would make it easier. I don't like recipes like this because you have to touch the raw chicken and then you get the egg on your hand and the flour, and it's just, I don't like the feeling of it, but it tastes good. So you take the chicken and you get it coated in that egg mixture, and then you transfer it to the flour cornstarch mixture, and then similar to the Chick-fil-A chicken, you then want to fry it. Don't overcrowd your pan. Again, I used olive oil in a cast iron pan until both sides were golden brown. And then as the chicken was frying, which I had to do in batches, I was getting my fried rice ready. And so normally I'd cook the fried rice and then add the eggs, but this has you cook eggs first in oil. So I added the oil to the pan, and that's what's heating up over there. Then I was pulling the chicken out to cool as it was coming off the fire, or off of the oil, so that I could keep going with that. So going back over to my fried rice, the oil is now hot, and I added in my 2 eggs, which I did kind of whisk up beforehand. And I am just, these cooked pretty fast because that oil was hot. So I just used my fork to scramble up the eggs, and then you add in your rice. I had cooked this rice earlier in the day in the Instant Pot and let it cool completely. It's basmati rice. And so I am adding that in and kind of breaking it up, and then it's going to heat all the way through. After it's mostly heated through, you're going to add in some soy sauce. Mix that together, let that soy sauce warm up, and then add in your vegetables. It said to use like a corn pea mixture, but I just went ahead and did a mixed veggie because that's what I had in the freezer. And so it also has green beans in it as well, but that's okay. And then you add in a little bit of sesame oil at the end, and then I just let this sit on the stove and heat all the way through, make sure everything was warm while I was finishing up with the chicken. The last thing you do with the chicken is you remove like the excess oil and drippings from the pan. You want to leave just a little bit, and then you put ginger, garlic, and some red chili flakes in the bottom of the pan and get that toasted for just a minute to bring out those flavors. I didn't use very much of the red pepper flake because I didn't want it too spicy, but it actually, I could have used more. There was like no spice to it at all. So after that goes for like 30 seconds, you're going to add in that sauce mixture that we made before that had the orange zest in it. Bring that to a boil and let it simmer for a few minutes. I think I did about 5 minutes. Then all of that chicken you fried, you are going to put into this sauce to coat it up. And it was so delicious. It smelled so good. It did have kind of a vinegar smell because there was a lot of vinegar in it as it was cooking. But then the orange hit you and the ginger came out. It was really good smelling. And then last thing you have to do then after that chicken is warmed back up is just plate it up. And I would normally serve this with like a crab rangoon or something like that, but the grocery store was out when I had placed my grocery order. This is what our bowls looked like. It was absolutely delicious. So thanks guys so much for watching. That is all I have for you today. Again, I will leave the recipes down in the description box. Don't forget to subscribe before you go so you don't miss out on any videos. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked seeing these copycat recipes. Let me know down in the comments if you are going to give any of them a try. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.